This chart shows the exact window you have to secure a profitable sale. A customer spends an average of 109 seconds looking at your menu before deciding. In that tight window, the long-term survival of an independent cafe is decided. Within those 2 minutes, your menu has to do a lot of heavy lifting. It needs to communicate what your brand actually is, guide the customer toward a drink that makes you money, and do it all without triggering decision paralysis. Many owners open a shop with a romantic vision, focusing entirely on the craft of sourcing, roasting, and pulling the perfect shot. But retail survival is a cold, mathematical reality. That is where menu engineering comes in. It is a specific operational and psychological framework you use to ensure your high-margin commerce pays the bills, so your artisanal craft can actually exist. Your menu acts as a behavioral roadmap, specifically designed to dictate the financial survival of the entire operation. The modern specialty coffee shop operates under the third wave ideal. This means a strict dedication to highly traceable single-origin beans and direct trade relationships with farmers, and a sensory grade of 80 points or higher from the Specialty Coffee Association. Long before reaching your grinder, the raw material demands intense labor. Every cherry is manually harvested with strict attention to terroir, climate, and cultivation methods. To respect that harvest, purists demand strict traditional ratios in the cup. A cortado requires a precise 1-to-1 ratio of 60 milliliters of espresso to 60 milliliters of milk. A piccolo is a single shot in a 90 milliliter glass. But the mass market consumer walking through the door expects something entirely different: a 16-ounce highly sweetened milk beverage handed to them as fast as possible. If you fill your menu with complex, purist-focused drinks, but lack a workflow strategy to handle volume, you create a fatal bottleneck. Your ticket times balloon, and the morning rush grinds to a halt. Refusing to compromise on your craft without an underlying financial strategy guarantees your shop will bleed money until the doors close. This chart shows the prep-to-profit matrix. It evaluates every item you sell by weighing the labor required to make it against the actual cash it puts in your register. Third-wave manual brews like pour-overs and chemics land squarely in the high-prep, low ROI quadrant. These methods attract elite coffee drinkers and elevate your brand's reputation for quality, but they require several uninterrupted minutes from your barista, yielding a low return on labor per cup. When you look at tools like the siphon, the barrier to fast execution becomes obvious. You are performing a slow, delicate extraction process that simply cannot be rushed during an 8 a.m. line. Let's go back to the matrix. If we look at batch-brewed drip coffee and overnight cold brew, they sit in the optimal top left quadrant: low prep, high margin. These batch items provide immediate fulfillment during your busiest hours. The trade-off is inventory risk. You have to implement strict daily forecasting, or you end up pouring your profit margin down the drain at closing time. High-margin, low-prep items are mandatory. They act as the financial engine that subsidizes your labor-intensive artisanal offerings. This diagram shows the golden triangle. It maps exactly how human eyes naturally scan a menu board. Customers do not read a menu like a book. They look here first. The upper right corner is your power zone. This space should be reserved exclusively for your $6 to $8 signature, seasonal, or limited-time drinks. By placing premium items in this spot, you create a subconscious endorsement. Cafes have recorded increases in premium sales of up to 40% simply by moving an item to this corner without a single verbal upsell from the staff. Next, their eyes move to the center. This is your trust-building zone. You fill this area with familiar, high-volume bestsellers. Placing reliable items in the center speeds up the ordering process for regular commuters. You match their brain's natural visual expectations with immediate, safe options. Finally, the eyes land on the upper left. This is the destination for simple, traditional classics. Purists looking for pure espresso or an Americano will actively hunt for this section, so you do not need to give it prime real estate. If you ignore the golden triangle, you are expending the exact same amount of operational effort, but leaving serious revenue on the table. When a menu pushes past 15 to 20 distinct beverage options, you introduce choice overload. Customers freeze, and your line stops moving. This chart shows a common pricing layout mistake. By aligning prices vertically on the right, you force the customer's eye to scan the numbers instead of reading the drink descriptions. This creates the price scanner effect. When customers experience decision paralysis, this layout encourages them to default to the cheapest, lowest margin item they recognize. You also create friction with generic copywriting. A description that simply lists ingredients does no work for you. Writing that focuses on sensory details and specific flavor profiles actively persuades the buyer. But the most dangerous operational mistake is using your prime visual real estate to promote complex items your staff cannot execute quickly during a morning rush. If your featured drink takes 4 minutes to build, you are sabotaging your own throughput. A poorly engineered menu slows down the line, frustrates the purist, and pushes the commuter toward the cheapest option. It fights your profitability at every step. You have to choose your lane. Your menu strategy must align with one of two business models: the purist destination or the neighborhood anchor. In the purist destination strategy, you keep your menu under 15 items. You focus entirely on single origins and highlight strict traditional espresso ratios. This often utilizes the Italian al banco service model. Efficiency happens directly at the counter, with customers drinking their espresso standing up and moving on. The trade-off here is volume. You accept lower daily foot traffic and rely entirely on a demographic willing to pay a premium for craft, usually located in dense urban centers. The neighborhood anchor strategy takes the opposite approach. You aggressively leverage the golden triangle for high-margin flavored lattes and push grab-and-go food to drive up your average ticket size. Copying a successful competitor's menu will fail if you do not share their exact business model, staff capabilities, and customer base. Owners must accept that highly trained baristas will spend the majority of their time making flavored milk beverages. Those drinks fund your purist espresso program. Coffee optimization starts on the spreadsheet and the menu board, establishing the financial floor required before the first shot is ever pulled. Strategic menu design protects the craft of specialty coffee. It ensures the business remains solvent enough to continue buying high-quality beans from the farmers who grow them. Audit your current or planned menu against the prep-to-profit matrix. Find the items causing your hidden bottlenecks and remove or reposition them. Pick your operational lane. Embrace the behavioral psychology behind how customers read and engineer your menu to protect your vision.